Matt told us Monday morning that our best shot, due to the acorn crop being so dense, was to spot and stalk instead of hunt out of one of the ground blinds or tree stands at a feeder location. So I went out Monday evening and spent some time just west of 4, and that's where we'll pick up the hunt and see the encounter I had with two not so massive hogs. On my way back to camp Monday evening, I noticed a pile of hogs bedded down between 2 and 3. I got very close to them, was able to take a picture. I couldn't get them to stand up out of the bed, and obviously you can't shoot into a pile of them without wounding several. So we went back to camp and made a plan for Tuesday morning. The Tuesday morning hunt started with me on number 3 and Brian on number 2. Brian shot a nice hog off of number 2 early in the morning. I hadn't seen anything for about an hour after being in the ground blind, so I moved out of the blind and out to the main trail where I saw a couple of hogs coming down the trail toward me. So I hopped off into the woods and waited for them to approach. They changed direction, went back to number 2, so I decided to spot and stalk through the woods, and that's where we're going to pick up the hunt. There are several hogs just beyond the number 2 ground blind, and I'm kind of using that as the barrier between them and me to move into this position. They started moving beside the ground blind on either side, so I decided to sit tight right here, thinking they may push toward me and give me a good shot. There are a few times in the videos upcoming that you see my camera kind of look down toward my bow and then look back up at the hogs. My string loop kept getting wound around my bowstring, and I couldn't get my release clipped on. But as these hogs started working around this ground blind, I wanted to be ready, so I was fighting with the string loop to get it in position where I could clip my release on. At this point, I was really feeling comfortable the way these hogs were moving. Heads down, kind of rooting, feeding, working toward me. I really felt like this was going to be the opportunity for me to get a shot at this group. Just about every hog in this group is a very nice hog. I didn't really have one picked out at this point, was just hoping anyone in the group would give me a shot. Yeah, I'm starting to move just a little bit here to get in position. If you look kind of off ahead of me and to the right a little bit, there's a little bit of a lane. Just trying to get in a couple positions here no matter which way the hogs go, so I'll have a shot. hogs are starting to move down away from two and away from me, unfortunately. I'm hoping as at least one of them is going to get into one of those shooting lanes and stop just long enough for me to get a shot. But so far, it's not working. You've seen several of them filter by, and there's just a few left. Yeah, this hog here is the biggest hog of the group by far. Was really hoping he was going to stop and give me a shot, but he's just going to do the same thing the other hogs have done. Walk away from two, and they're walking actually right down the middle of the main trail, away from where I'm at. After these hogs walked off, Brian and I got together and waited about 15 or 20 minutes, and then walked right down the main path from two, and kind of was heading on our way back toward camp. And when we did this, we actually spotted the hogs. Brian spotted them up ahead between 1 and 3 off into the woods. So I'm going to pick up the stock again on the same group of hogs. That big hog off to the right is standing with his head in the wide open. We have a clear lane between he and I. And it felt like he was looking right in my direction, so I didn't want to move too much right here. I kind of wanted to wait for him to take back off again before I started moving across this little ditch. These hogs are starting to move off to my left, back toward the main trail again, so I'm really trying to kind of push it a little bit to get up here where I can have a shooting lane, because right now to my left I have nothing. So I'm trying to get up there quick enough without being seen so I can try to get a shot as they move back to my left. At this point, I'm in a pretty good position. Got some trees between me and them, and off to my left, I can have a couple lanes there where I can see to shoot. So This looks like we're getting real close here to being able to take a shot at a hog. The majority of the hogs are starting to move off to my left, which is good. I think I'm going to get a shot. But off to the right, I noticed that really big hog starting to angle toward me just a little bit. As these hogs start to get into a shooting lane, it is the most inopportune time for them to stop. They stop with their kill zone behind trees, or they stop with another hog right behind them, and they are just not going to give me a shot. At this point, I'm really starting to watch that last hog. He's separated so much from the other group that I think if he can get up there and get stopped in a shooting lane, I'm going to have a shot at him without having to worry about him being in front of another hog or behind another hog. As a big hog starts to walk behind that tree, I try to take a couple steps real quick just to get farther forward to try to close the distance, and I'm sure he's going to give me a shot here as I come to full draw. That sorry joker walked all the way from my right out to almost straight in front of me, taking his sweet time and pausing time and time again. Then he gets to my shooting lane and just walks right through it. Just could not believe I didn't get that shot. Yeah, so once again, Brian and I kind of regroup a little bit, and we're standing there talking for a few minutes and decide we're going to just kind of head back toward camp. That was the direction those hogs were walking, so we thought we may bump into them. And sure enough, as we turn the corner from number one, we see that big hog standing all by himself right in the middle of the lane. Now, while this hog is right in the middle of the lane, his head's down, he's kind of rooting, feeding, he's not really paying attention, and the other hogs that could alert him are not close. I'm actually moving at a pretty good speed here trying to catch up with him. At this point, the hog actually turns away from me and starts walking down the lane again, so I pick up my pace and really try to close the distance. I'm trying to get within about 30 yards. He doesn't fully turn around, but he just kind of cocks his head to the side, and I thought I was busted right here. So I'm just trying to sit him out and wait, hoping he turns broadside and can give me a shot.
Oh, hit him way back.
At this point, I thought I was in real trouble. I hit that hog so far back, and I looked up and realized he was just standing a few feet off the trail and standing still. So as quick as I can, I try to knock another arrow, and I take off here at a pretty good clip. just trying to close the distance enough where I can get maybe another arrow in him before he does take off. I couldn't believe that hog went down that fast. As it turns out, when we had the hog gutted, that arrow clipped the aorta as it went into that hog, which is why he bled out so quickly.